In this video, I'll be reviewing the Head Prestige tennis racket so that you can decide if it's a good fit for your tennis game. The Head Prestige tennis racket is definitely a racket for advanced players, and in this video, what I'm going to cover is the overall specifications of the Head Prestige racket, as well as the different versions that are available on the market. And then I'll talk a little bit about the on-court performance. So where is it going to help you? Where is it going to be lacking a little bit? And then at the end, I'll talk about my own experience playing with this racket, as well as a few other rackets that you can compare it to that are kind of in the same category as the Head Prestige. So the first thing I'll discuss is the specifications of the Head Prestige. So this one in my hand is the Pro version. It has a 95 square inch head, a 16 by 19 string pattern. It's a pretty heavy racket at around 11.8 ounces strung. And it's got a pretty thick beam for a 95 square inch racket. So that'll help you with a little bit of stability and power as well. There's also a mid version, which is very similar, but it has a 93 square inch head. So it's gonna be even smaller, have a smaller sweet spot, but a little bit more precision and feel. There's also a mid plus, which has a 98 square inch head. It also has an 18 by 20 string pattern, so it's gonna have a little bit more control, a little bit better feel. And then there's also a tour version, which is a 99 square inch head with an 18 by 19 string pattern. So a lot of different variations here within the Head Prestige tennis racket family. And I'll talk about the on-court performance here in a second, but in general, the Pro and the mid version are going to be for a little bit more advanced players. The mid plus version can be advanced to intermediate level who are looking for a little bit more control. And then the tour version, which was the 99 square inch head, is great for intermediate to advanced players who want a good blend of control as well as a little bit extra power and spin. So a lot to think about there. We're going to include links below with more information on each different version and who it's best for, as well as links to purchase the rackets. So what I'll talk about next is the kind of overall on-court performance of the Head Prestige rackets. So the Head Prestige rackets are definitely pretty classic, advanced, high-level player rackets. They are going to be more control-oriented than they are power. But again, this is going to depend on which version you choose for yourself. So this Pro version is going to have a little bit more power, while the Mid Plus version, which has a denser string pattern, is going to have a little bit more control. So again, we're going to include links below with more information so that you can kind of decide which version is going to be best for you. As far as spin and feel, again, it's going to depend on which version you choose. So all of the rackets really have great feel, but the Pro version is going to have the most spin. The Tour version is going to be kind of in between. It's going to have good spin, pretty good feel. And then that Mid Plus version with that 18 by 20 string pattern is going to have significantly less spin, but a little bit better control, touch, things like that. As far as stability and maneuverability go, this is definitely a pretty heavy racket. It's going to have really good stability defending against pace. And I found personally that for as heavy as it is, it was pretty easy to handle. So the maneuverability isn't going to be great for a beginner player, but for any high-level, intermediate, or advanced players, I don't think you're going to have any trouble with the handling, with the maneuverability if you do play a lot of fast-paced doubles, for example. So again, we're going to include links below with more information on all of that. It's going to really depend on which version is best for you, but overall, these are great rackets for control, for feel, and for high-level intermediate to advanced players. So next I wanted to talk a little bit about my own experience playing with the Head Prestige tennis racket. This is the Pro version, which I've been hitting with for a few weeks, and depending on the version you buy, your experience is definitely going to differ a little bit. But as far as this Pro version goes, it is one of the or one of my favorite rackets that I've hit with so far. So on my serves, I didn't feel like I was sacrificing too much power. The open string pattern allowed me to generate plenty of spin on my slice as well as my kick serves. On returns, I really liked it a lot. I'm able to defend against fast-paced first serves because of the racket's weight. It has really great stability on those. And then against second serves, I'm able to step in, I'm able to swing big, generate good power, good spin, as well as good control on my returns and immediately get the opponent on defense. I like to transition to the net. So on my half volleys as well as volleys, again, the weight of the racket provides really good stability. So if you are an advanced player, you're defending a lot of fast-paced ground strokes when you're at the net, this racket is going to have great stability for you. As far as ground strokes go, I didn't feel like I was sacrificing too much power. So one of the issues with this racket for some people is that they're going to be losing a lot of power, but with this pro version at least, I didn't feel like that was the case. I was still able to generate good depth on my ground strokes as well as pretty good spin. So overall, this is definitely one of my favorite rackets I've played with. Again, depending on the version that you buy, you're going to have a slightly different experience, and we're going to include links below as well as more information on what you can expect from each of those versions. So next, I want to talk a little bit about other rackets that are similar to this in case you do feel like the Prestige is a good fit for you. So the Head Prestige rackets are definitely more advanced level rackets. They are more on the control end of the spectrum, but it is going to depend on which version you buy. So this Pro version is going to have a little bit more power than the Mid Plus version, for example, because it has a little bit more open string pattern. So keep that in mind when you are trying to decide which version is best for you. But again, overall, these are going to be a little bit more control oriented. As far as spin and feel, the Pro version is going to have the most spin because of the open string pattern. The Tour version is going to be kind of in the middle, and then the Mid Plus version is going to have the lowest spin potential, but a little bit better feel and control. All of these rackets are pretty heavy. They're definitely more of an advanced weight, so they're going to have really good stability at the net, really good stability defending against fast-paced first serves, and a little bit lower on the maneuverability. However, the Graphene 360 Plus technology that Head uses does make them a little bit more flexible, so it does feel a little bit lighter weight than what the manufacturer says that it is. So for me, I found it a little bit more maneuverable than the Gravity racket, for example, but it's gonna again depend on which version you buy, the weight of that version. So overall, these are great rackets for singles or doubles players who can generate their own power. Go with the Pro version if you like a little bit heavier racket and you want a little bit more stability, a little bit more spin, a little bit more power. If you want something with more control and more feel, go with the Tour version. That's going to be the best option for you. And again, we're going to include links below with more information on all of this so that you can decide which version is going to be best for you. If you found that video helpful, click the thumbs up button below to support the channel. And for more gear reviews, double strategies, and interviews with pro tennis players and coaches, don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well. You'll find links to anything mentioned in that video below in the description. And to sign up for our newsletter where you'll get double strategies and discounts on the latest gear, go to thetennistribe.com.